All right, I am so proud of you for agreeing to this. Okay, good. Erin has agreed to doing this because of the Avengers movie. And if we remember back when, I got a lot of notice on Facebook about this, there was a little problem, wasn't there? Your arms are tied, by the way, so you can't take this off. Okay. The show could go horribly wrong at this point, but it's not going to. So I've got messages on Facebook and stuff saying, make sure that Erin doesn't do a spoiler like she did at the Avengers movie, because it came out and 3 days later she thought everyone would know that someone had died. But not everyone did. And it was horrible and broke people's hearts. And this time, you've agreed.
No.
You've agreed.
No.
She's agreed not to talk about it, not to say anything. We have gone through it, and she understands that this is something that we're going to let go of. You're tied up, so I'd be really nice to me right now. You don't really have a lot of options. Yeah. So anyway, we should start the show probably. All right, promise again. Okay, no spoilers. This show, Avengers. Okay. All right, we're good. All right, let's get on with it. We'll be right back. My meatballs suck. They do. My meatballs suck. First of all, hi and welcome. I have never been a person who has cooked a lot of Italian food. All my friends did that for me. And because of that, here I am at the age of, and I can't make a decent meatball, which is the weirdest thing. Don't you? I mean, I experiment with, next week it's cow tongue. Why don't I have a meatball recipe? So I went and found one. And we're going to make it today. And the weird thing about this one is they're in the oven. You cook them in the oven. So I'm going to show you the whole deal. First, let me show you the list of favorites. The regular suspects. We've got chili peppers. We've got oregano. We've got breadcrumbs. We've got Parmesan. And we've got garlic. Whoo, do we have garlic? Now we have beef stock as well. Salt and pepper, of course. So what we're going to do is going to combine this so that you know what I'm doing. I'll have a list of ingredients as well. So cookie trays, basically cooking trays. I'm going to do them on these. I'm going to put the oven 350, 20 to 25 minutes, and let's put them all together. Now I know I'm going to say ground beef, but I really want to say hamburger because when I grew up on the East Coast, hamburger was ground beef. So every time I say it, my friends give me stuff about it. So if I say hamburger, it's because of my upbringing. It's my parents' fault, not mine. Now, a lot of people actually put different meats together with pork and stuff like that, which is great. This is just going to be ground beef. Okay, let's go get the beef. One of the weird things that I found about this recipe, remember we're going to do it in the oven, is milk. Now first of all, you have to realize that I'm not doing 2 pounds of ground beef. I'm doing a little bit more, and that's because I don't want to cook every day. Plus I can freeze them. So follow the instructions and the measurements that I gave you. Milk. Did you ever think? I know a lot of you are going, yeah, stupid Todd. Yeah, we do. I did not know that. Eggs. Rim shot. Right sound. And now we're just going to put it all together. Here's the parsley. It's actually the only fresh ingredient in it. The rest of it is oregano. Let's see. I'm going to use that later. That's fine. Garlic, that comes off the tray. My dog is barking. Hey, dog. It's one thing to have the kids out of the house and blame it on them, but Gil, come here. Excuse me for a second. Gil, come here. Come here, bud. Gil, come here. Come here. You okay? Thanks for protecting me from the monsters. Good job. Go. Go. Go lay down. Hi, I'm back. A lot of people would restart the show at this point. Screw that. Breadcrumbs. And then the fun part. I wish Zoe was here because she loves this part. And I'm going to do some salt and some fresh pepper because stale pepper just doesn't work. If you can tell the difference, I'll give you $1. Now, do this because the guests get really concerned if you don't wash your hands first. Now, usually, I realize that this is not the most entertaining thing that you could watch online. And usually, I would get up and I'd turn the cameras off and I'd go to a different shot. Fortunately, I'm not going to touch my equipment with these hands because that would be gross. So I'm going to sit here and do this and you guys can just hang out. Mixing is really important. But also the warning is don't overwork the hamburger. It makes them tough. The ground beef when you make the meatballs. See how I'm doing here at the bottom? Yeah, that's what I thought. So we'll do this. I know there's a lot of Italian moms out there just dying right now. But that's the thing about cooking. That's the thing about cooking for me, is the fact that I like trying new things. We all have things that we can make in our sleep. I can make ham and lentil soup. I can make pot roast. I can make a bunch of different things, and I can do it. I go to the store, don't need a shopping list, and I'm not that bright, but I can do it because I've worked it out that it's some of my go-to recipes. All right, so here's the hamburger. Time to put it into balls. All right, now I'm exhausted. So what we're gonna do now is put them in the oven for about 25 minutes at 450 degrees. But wait, there's one more thing, and I never saw this one coming. Check this out. Beef broth. So just to put it on there, just like that. Most will evaporate, and the other will be absorbed in them, and that way they won't get dry. Or so they say. Remember, my meatballs suck. These gotta be better. All right, to the oven. Let's go. These actually look edible. Moving very slowly. They smell great. The other one's in there for now. All right, so once again, the reason I have done this is because my meatballs suck. This is a new recipe. I've never even thought of doing them in the oven. Now, if it works out, think about this. Let's say I'm going to use 4 tonight. I have a teenager. Let's say I use 3/4 of this pan tonight, and I have another pan in there, and what you do is if you want to save them, you take them like this, you put them in the freezer after they cool, you get them frozen, then you take them and you put them in a bag. I would zip, I would do the vacuum thing, but that's me. And then you have them anytime you need, you pull them out, you put spaghetti out and marinara sauce, and you're good to go. So, there's only one thing left, and that is to put these. It's Erin's face. And see how we've done. Let me go get her. Okay, let's go.
Babe, I'm really trying to get this post done.
Yeah. There's food involved.
Oh, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah, I
I
know.
wouldn't. You wouldn't have had to drag me.
So you know how my meatballs suck?
No, they're okay.
Be honest.
That's like damning with faint praise, isn't it? They're edible?
No, actually, they're not. They stay in the refrigerator and no one eats them.
Yeah, when
This
Zachy
is-
won't eat your meatballs, that's an issue.
This is the new version.
What is this called?
Huh?
What is it?
It's called meatballs.
Are they a special meatball? Do they have a name?
Todd's brand new, incredible meatballs 2.0.
Well, okay then.
Go ahead. These were done in the oven.
They're not fatty, which is nice. That's a win.
That's a win.
A little bit crispy on the outside, really good. They're juicy.
Said fishy and juicy. What's that mean?
Juicy.
And fishy?
And crispy on the outside.
Oh, I got it now. Okay, there you go.
What are all the flavors? It's really good.
I know. It's not mine. I got it on the internet where all good foods and thoughts
You realize
come
this
from.
is where you lie and you say that it was a family recipe, right?
We're Scottish. We eat haggis.
The Todd and Erin Daily Stream is brought to you by PC Laptops with desktops and laptops starting as low as $7.99 with a lifetime parts and service warranty. They fix phones too. Go to PCLaptops.com.
How much money can a movie make?
A bazillion 9 plus 11, apparently.
Now, some theaters actually, the Avengers Endgame. Endgame, right?
Avengers Endgame, yes.
Endgame. And neighborhoods are quiet. It's like there's a youth football game going on. Everyone's somewhere else. They're all at theaters.
There's a big pervasive feeling of melancholy. It's hard because this is like the end of the 22 film series. And there'll be more. I mean, there's going to be more things
22?
that come out of it. But it was really hard. There's a lot of melancholy and this feeling of, and no spoilers. I mean, it's incredible and inspiring. And Rotten Tomatoes give it a 97%, which bitter, old, mean white guy critics usually don't do. It was incredible. And the money...
How much money? They're talking huge, I mean...
Oh, no, $1.5 billion for the first weekend. It's going to make over $350 million domestically. $350 million. Remember when we thought, wow, a movie made $100 million? No, $350 million in one weekend here. I mean, that's unimaginable.
Wow. That's not even international?
International, it will be $1.2 billion this weekend.
Lunch boxes? Can we look forward to that?
Well, that's how everybody knew about the Gauntlet, because they had the whole toy line going.
All right. So I have some really important news about this, because all that is compared to what I have to offer you. Now, first of all, you might not know that the Avengers Endgame thing, whatever it is 3 hours long. How do you not pee?
3 hours and 10 minutes.
How do you not pee in 3 hours?
And the thing is, you cannot miss any moment of this. You're going to die. So there's been actually a whole bunch of tweets talking about if you have to miss like a quickie bathroom break, what's the best point? And so far, everyone's in agreement. It's at about 38 minutes. You can't miss any of this. You'll kill yourself. It's really good.
Back to the science, shall we?
Science.
First of all, and I love this, don't drink anything prior to the show.
I wonder if concessions have been down.
They say to eat large amounts of popcorn, but not the drink, because the salt will help you retain
Soak up, yeah.
the liquid, and the salt will help that. Number 4, bring a sweater.
Science.
Bring a sweater, a hoodie. Bring something that keeps you warmer, because, they crank up the air conditioning. Next thing you're cold. Being cold
Makes you want to pee more.
kind of a trigger.
It's true.
So there you go. That's the important information you need to know for the Avengers movie. That's it. Those 3 things that will make your enjoyment, because you'll be standing up and shuffling past people, and
Yeah, they suggested putting you on the aisle. The funny thing about this is they were asking, like during Jimmy Kimmel, they're going, all right, do you have any suggestions? Because this movie's 3 hours long. And like Scarlett Johansson and Mark Ruffalo suggested wearing a diaper. And they said, then you don't even have to get up. But then, of course, you're also sitting in your own urine, which is a problem. And Paul Rudd, he's Ant-Man. He says, well, what I did, he says, is I got one of those big, gigantic things of popcorn.
Don't. Put it under the seat, didn't he? Don't.
Excuse me. Although the thing that was really cool that they just mentioned in passing, but I'm amazed by Captain Marvel, of course. This was Brie Larson, first Marvel major superhero with her own film. Scarlett Johansson should have one for Black Widow. But anyway, she was the first one to get one. Female director. She has made over $413 million domestically in less than 2 months. And I mean, that's been crushed and overshadowed by all of this. $413 million.
Well, what you
that
remember,
is the biggest female movie-led open ever, of course. And that's also the biggest female director. I mean, that's amazing to me.
I want you to remember who gave you the 3 big clues on how not to go to the bathroom, okay?
Everyone just remember
That's
to say,
it.
thanks, Todd, during the ending credits.
You're welcome. And then run like hell to the bathroom. All right, the Golden
Such a
Spike.
dork.
Now, Promontory Point, we know that's where the transatlantic railroads, and they came together like this. Wouldn't it be funny if they were like this? They're like, you screwed up. No, you screwed up. No,
miles and miles of tracks.
You screwed. So anyway, it's 150 years old this year. And that's a big deal. And so basically they're bringing May 9th. It's going on. Plus they have a celebration in Ogden.
Yeah, it's going to go on for like a week, but it's really, really cool. I mean, because they've got just piles of stuff that's going to be amazing.
Big Boy, number 4014, and the Legend, number 844.
Saki loves trains. We should take him.
2 of the largest locomotive steam engine-driven engines in the world are going to be there, which is kind of cool. But then I wonder, when they're nose to nose, who backs up?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Who actually does
Can't really play chicken with that one.
Who's the one who's backing up your nose to nose? So anyway, that's going on. If you want more information, goldenspike2019.com.
Well, yeah, one of our neighbors, Julie, has been involved in this, and it's going to be a huge celebration.
It's a big deal.
Huge.
If you're a historian, you're going crazy.
All right, I've got a couple of things that I think are like female positive, but I'm torn on one of them. Now, the first thing is an all-female football team here in Utah. They just filed a Utah lawsuit by a teenage female football star. This is more than 400 girls have joined the league with 16-year-old Sam Gordon, and she's pretty amazing. This little kid.
May I ask?
Yes.
Are we talking high school? Are we talking college?
The lawsuit is they're asking Utah high schools to do all-girl football teams.
So
they want football teams, full contact, all-female football teams. And she is pretty amazing. She started at 9 years old, and she was like dominant. She played against boys and crushed them like bugs.
Right.
As a matter of fact, she was one of the present NFL greats in a television ad that aired during this last year's Super Bowl.
Right.
They gave her a Game Changer award for her role. Now, this is inspiring to me, and it's cool, and I'm amazed by it, except for one major thing.
Yeah, me too.
Now, we have battled through Title IX to get women, girls especially, the same access to sports the boys have, and it's amazing. But I just want you to think about this. Over the flood of information that has come out over the last 5 years about concussions and progressive brain damage and the powerful neurological damage they're seeing from boys in football.
And we're talking mini concussions. That
start in Pee-wee football and go on. And how many NFL players actually left their brains to science because they wanted them to study the results of brain trauma from football.
And a handful of these people have shot themselves in the chest so that their brains would be preserved. That's how bad it is. So
there's so many sports that I would say, yes, let's go on this. I will rock this with you. I will be down there to support.
Soccer has been one of them. But it's like, and they're telling kids not to head the ball anymore.
Yeah.
They're taking care of kids as much as they can.
But is that really the one that you want to be championing right now?
This is our opinion.
I want them to have equal access to as many concussions as boys do, but
absolutely. My daughter will never play football.
I just want this energy to go to a sport that is not so potentially damaging.
Well,
you can get hurt in any sport, and I know that, but there has been such a wealth of evidence over the last 5 years.
Right.
I mean, I'm not sure how you cannot look at that. And our friend Todd, our boss, his son had profound damage from high school football.
Right.
And it goes to such a myriad of different things that you can't even imagine, through behavioral and emotional.
And the weird thing is the draft just went through, and you see everybody's family gathered around the player, and they're waiting to see if they get picked. And they go crazy when they do. NFL, they picked, I forget the gentleman's name. They picked him for the
he was the University of Utah guy, right?
New England Patriots.
Oh, the BYU guy, yeah.
And everyone goes crazy, and it's great. But then again, you're thinking,
but you know what you know now.
How long did it take you to get there, and how much? I don't know.
I want to support her. I just wish it were a sport that wasn't so lethal.
So since we're talking about kicking balls, and we're talking about soccer,
you have to admit this is a seamless transition.
There's another story that is a nice, interesting transition.
Well, it's an unusual combination. This was up in Alaska, and apparently there were boys at North Pole High School, adorable, who had crowded into the girls' bathroom, and they were going to take a selfie. And it was some sort of protest because there had been selfies in the boys' bathrooms and blah. I don't know. Anyway, this girl was weirded out because she's trying to get out of the bathroom, and the boys were blocking her, and they wouldn't let her go. And she's like, "Let me out." And she's like, "I'm freaking out. Let me out of here. You can't block me." They refused to. They blocked her and wouldn't let her go. So she kneed one right in the genitals.
In the goods.
And he dropped like a stone, and she left. Well, she got expelled for violence, even though they were blocking her.
Even though she was held against her will.
Yeah. And one of the female the state representatives was really ticked off. She said, "If you feel threatened for your safety, whatever force you think you have to give, I will stand behind you. And so should your community, not for the boys who were they didn't belong."
Well, I'll tell you what.
So interestingly, I guess she did get expelled. She wasn't allowed to go to prom. Some of the guys got spoken to, but they got to go to prom and do all the other senior-based things.
Right.
But it is very interesting. I mean, they're
better to stand behind her than in front of her.
I guess that's probably true.
That. Yeah.
It was just an interesting punishment, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know if you hold your daughter. Once again, it comes down to your daughter, doesn't it?
I know.
It comes down to your daughter.
Because I would tell Zoe, if you were being threatened, if you were being physically held against your will,
have at it.
Go for it. And so now I'm torn because it's like I don't advocate violence, but on the other hand, I don't know.
We know how competitive real estate is here in Salt Lake City.
Oh, wow.
Along the Wasatch Front, and it is crazy. And so people are offering initiatives to like come and look at our open house and stuff, and it's kind of peaked to a certain extent in certain areas. But this person in Metro Vancouver, which is
crazy real estate market,
so pretty.
Yes, it is.
They have oceans everywhere there.
It is so perfect.
So this guy said, he's trying to really their niche is the millennials. And they're going, how can we get the millennials?
How can we draw the millennials
interested
to us?
into these condo, beautiful places? And so what they've done is they've offered a yearly supply of avocado toast. Yeah, it says avocado
toast. We've discussed avocado toast many times here on the Todd and Erin Daily Stream.
I found it horrid. Now, so the difference.
People love avocado toast if you're a millennial, I guess.
Now, we're talking U.S., $435,518 to purchase one of these units.
Well, do you remember, I would like to point this out, though. Do you remember the realtor in Texas?
Yes.
In Dallas that he was offering a year's supply of tacos?
Right.
And his houses went like hotcakes.
Now, to
excuse me.
To actually sacrifice, if you were going to save on your own, the amount of avocado
toast
and toast you would have to neglect yourself of is 17,421 times.
That's a lot of avocado toast.
Not to have. And, I'm right there with that.
It's a serious form of denial.
Do not have it. You hate avocados.
That's disgusting.
They are disgusting. I love them, though.
But these millennials, they love them.
Can you tell me something good?
I love this. Tell me something good. Are you ready for it? Mm-hmm. Maybe it's because we have this battle ongoing with our daughter Zoe. And I was the one who actually got in trouble for staying up late and reading when I was a kid. And that's all we've done is surround our kids with books and teach them to love to read. And it is a battle with her. So every time I see these stories, I so relate. And because everything is based, we see this, everything is based on your child's ability to read. Literary skills are so crucial in every aspect of school. But
They really are.
and so they've been coming up with these little sneaky, wonderful ways, like we talked about, where they had done the reading programs in the laundromats.
Which one is this
Remember?
one? Yes.
And they talked about it because it's a place where kids are sitting with their parents and they're watching the dryer go and nothing else is happening.
So they gave them books.
And we've talked about it during the subsidized lunches during the summer here in Utah, so the kids aren't going hungry.
They gave them books.
And how they started doing reading groups along with the lunch. Well, this one I thought was absolutely wonderful. It's called City Cuts, and it's in Chicago.
Oh, this is the one.
And this is from John Esquita. He is a he's a immigrant from the Philippines.
Okay.
And when he first came here, he did not have a strong command of the English language. He couldn't read
How
the
tough.
language well.
How hard would that
He was
be?
very shy anyway, and he felt incredibly inferior. So as he'd
Right.
grown and he developed his barber skills and he opened his own barber school, one of the first things he decided to do is he wanted to start a reading program for kids. So when the kids came in and they got cuts from him, he would give them $3 to $5 as a reward for reading out loud while they were getting their hair done,
What?
which I thought was such a cute idea. So after a while, when everyone, like the parents and the community members, were hearing what he was doing,
Right.
they said, well, let us help. And so he started getting books donated and he started getting money donated as incentive for the kids. But it was absolutely amazing. The video he first put up with the kids reading has more than 13 million views on Facebook. And it's sponsored 10 other barbershops to get going with the same ideas, thinking, this is such a good thing. But they talk about some of these kids, and like there's one little guy, Carrie Ann says that she brings her son Connor, who's 8, every time she'll drive him 2 hours to go to this barbershop.
Wow.
She said because he has a really hard time in social situations. He's horribly shy. He doesn't read well. And she said this is the first place where he's bloomed. I mean, where he's become something. And so far, Connor says he's earned $50 from reading there.
That's
I would love to see this take
Yeah.
off. I mean, all of these
Oh.
ideas are so creative, though, and they're innovative, and they're finding some way that matters to a child, some way that will get them excited to read.
Plus the fact that you'll never have a book stolen, never a forgotten book because it's filled with hair. Every time you turn a page, someone's hair will fall out.
that.
Oh my God,
It's
that's
like when you
mine.
save a lock of your first kid's haircut. It's
Now
just
you
like
have
that.
a
It's in book.
library full of them, which is nice. I have a moral question for you. Not moral, logistics. All right, so I'm going to take you to England. All right, they have the lotto in England.
Big time.
We got 2 gentlemen. One's Mark, the other one's John Ross. Now, Mark and John Ross decided that they were going to buy a ticket for the scratch-offs,
Cool.
and they did. And they won almost $500 million.
That couldn't be for a scratch off.
Two people sharing this. Go look at my story.
Oh, I saw the pictures, and they're sitting there. They got the money fanned out like, hey.
They got the check
Yeah.
over their head
Yeah.
and all this stuff. The only problem, they said, well, who bought this ticket? And they went, my friend John. And they went,
Oh, no.
Where is John? Oh, he went north. First of all, if you're a criminal, you got to come up with a better story.
That
than
was really their excuse. He went north.
So here's the logistical question coming up. They did not give him. Let me say this. One of them said, this is Mark, said, I'm going on a Caribbean cruise, then to Las Vegas. Meanwhile, his friend, John Ross, said, I'm going to buy a luxury property and just treat myself to the good life. Now, here's the problem. The people who run the lottery said, this purchase was made on a stolen debit card. So we're not going to give you the money. Let me repeat that again.
man.
$500 million, stolen debit card. You're not getting the money. Logistical question for you. Are you ready? Should John win? It was his card.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally.
Think about it.
So all they have to do is track him down from where he went up north.
He went up north. Well, they have
man.
it.
No, they have to.
They have the print.
Because they've got the debit card number, right? They
They've
paid
got
for it.
debit card. They've got the bank. They've got a Visa. They've got everything.
Yeah,
they've
they've got to be able to
need.
track him down. He has to have the money. It's his money.
Do you think it's legal? He didn't buy
I know
it.
he's not in physical possession of the ticket, but he's the one that bought it.
If the card was
Even if it
still
was
valid,
unknowingly, he bought it.
if the card was still valid, and he hadn't canceled it yet, right? And then they bought the tickets under his name, right? I'm like, give him the money.
No. Even if he doesn't have physical possession of the ticket, he's the one that paid for it. Even if he didn't know it.
It's hard.
Oh, are you kidding? That's awesome.
I'm gonna follow this one because this is gonna bug me.
That just makes me happy because they have these pictures. These guys going, send me all my money.
Look at my
That's
check.
awesome.
I got a big check. And it's like, no, John has a big check, but let's see what they do with it, shall we? All right, so
They probably won't, but they should.
Mother's Day is coming up.
Oh, don't forget to go to shopthegateway.com. Shop the Gateway downtown. If you haven't been there, it's just gorgeous.
Shop the Gateway downtown?
Well, it's Gateway downtown.
Okay.
Go shop there, but
Okay.
it's shopthegateway.com.
Okay.
But they have this $1,000 price pack. It's jewelry, it's dinner out, it's concert
It's
tickets.
nuts.
It's this huge spa day. I mean, you've got all kinds of lovely treats like
Victoria's Secret,
Secrets.
just for him.
He'd remember that part.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is just go online and sign up. It's like, bing, you're done. But it's a great way to win something nice for mom, and it ends on May 5th, so you want to hurry and do it this week.
If you're going to see Avengers, take a sweater, don't pee. There you go. You've
And
learned
fight the melancholy. There's melancholy.
and you've learned a lot from the Todd and Erin Daily Stream. We shall see you tomorrow. A sweater. Don't do the big popcorn bucket, okay?
Melancholy.
That's cool.